Hello students, myself Ranjana Srivastava. I am your science teacher from Ikra Primary English Medium School branch. Today we will start the chapter 9 of a Science NCERT textbook of class 6. That is the living organisms, characteristics and habitats. Students, in this chapter we will talk about the living organism characteristics and their habitats. Now before start this chapter, let's have a brief recap of what we have studied in the last two chapters. So in the last chapter we have discussed about living organisms and non-living organisms, and under living organisms we say living organisms are those which are the biotic, and the characteristic of living organisms we would understand in a while. In brief, we can say they do movement, they respond to similar, they can have a process of breathing or respiration, and growth is associated with the living organisms. However, when we talk about non-living organisms, we say that those constitute the abiotic world and includes air, water, temperature, rainfall, but all these abiotic factors assist the biotic factors for the growth. Got it, children? The second important terms for this chapter that we would understand, and firstly idea of habitat, and the next is adaptation. We say habitat is a basically a living place or a dwelling place of any organisms, and adaptation is basically considering oneself and modify the traits of oneself to adjust and their living or environment. So for different areas, for different kind of adaptation that are, for example, in a cold area you would have conical trees. The basic trees of on having a conical tree is very simple. You would have all the snow and that would run down, and the plants would not affected because of the snow. The second important modification in a desert area is what we say or hear about cactus as a plant or with thorns. Now that's a general perspective about a cactus plants when we study, but here we have a cactus plant which has flower on it. So we will talk about cactus on the desert vegetation in a while. The next important modification that we talk about today is the camels. Now under camels we would understand a very basic phenomena with the help of just this diagram. First of all, we have different types of camels that we see. This is a kind of single hump, and then you have a double hump camel that we have here. So that are various camels could be seen on the various species of the camels that are seen. First, now the first very important thing about the hump stores fat and not water. So that one of the major confusion. So hump is a has useful for storage of fat and not water. Then you have long legs. What's the benefit of long legs? Because you would have a kind of the dusty environment below and a lot of sand below these long legs. You would have a kind of main body on the eyes of the face that would you would resistance to the lower dust, and that would be belonging in. Then again the eyes have long eyelashes. Then again when to prevent sand going into a eye, similarly you have a leathery mouth. The purpose of leathery mouth is to protect itself from the spines that are present on the various trees. Again you have a kneecaps that are again leathery. That's the basic purpose to kneeling down on the. So those are the modifications that are seen in the body of the camel in the desert area. We have talked about the camels. The other modification that you seen in a desert atmosphere is for the rats. So rats burrow the hole and they live in the hole. The burrowing of the hole provide a kind of cold environment, and the survival become much easier for these animals like rats, snake and so on. Got it, children? The next important adaptation is in the aquatic region, where you can see fishes which have streamlined body. In the last class we have studied about fishes and their streamlined body. We'll be discussing more about those in a while. So all these are different adaptations that could be seen in a terrestrial organisms or aquatic surroundings. So for a terrestrial settings we have, let's say, the mountain region, the desert region. For the aquatic we have kind of streamlined body. Those are same Then we have the crustacean trees that are seen along the coast or so. All those various adaptation that we seen now coming on the some of the general adaptation that we would talk about. Okay. The next is in the aquatic area. You have fishes. In the last class we have specifically focused on the body surface of the fish, or when we talk about the body structure of the fish, we say since childhood you would have been drawing fish, but a good question comes up, why on both ends of the fishes you have a kind of a smaller body that is drawn is compared to the center body. The reason is to provide a kind of streamlined shape which assists to the process of swimming. Then you have fins of either end. These fins help to imbalance in the body. The tail fins provides to a kind of direction for movement. Then you have scales on the body that prevents to or protect the body against the water flow, and that could be seen there. So these are some of modification that are seen on the body of a fish. So we have a diagram to help you better understand this. So we already talked about how these features affect different regions. Already we have talked about the desert environment. We have talked about the cactus and the various vegetation and could be seen the desert atmosphere. The stem, as we said, it is covered with the waxy layer, and have here you have another diagram for cactus. Now this is what you have common picture of what you hear about cactus, and this is the kind of succulent that we seen now. What happens here? Cactus usually have a long deep roots, and idea is to take water from deep inside the earth, and the water could be taken from longer duration. Despite you have a kind of irritated atmosphere for a long period. Again, as we said, the stem is a waxy, because of which you would have less loss of water in the form of transpiration or evaporation. Mountain areas are very important to understand. Okay. Now, before moving forward, let's study about some terrestrial habitats. So we start with the very first. This is the desert. Now, in the desert itself, we will start with the first, that is cactus. Now, as we said, in the cactus you have a stem that is modified, and it's a kind of thick structure that you could see here. The next is leaves. Leaves are modified into spine. The reason for the modification of leaves into spine are very simple, because when you have leaves that have modified into spine, the water that is seen lost through transpiration is reduced. So the process of evaporation and transpiration and the water loss is reduced, and when you have spines, because the surface area gets reduced. However, you might say in this plant, which is Forbia milli, you would have leathery leaves that are seen now. Again, when we have the leaves are leathery, that means the leaves have a kind of waxy surface on a leathery surface that prevents the evaporation of water at the same rate, and similarly the flower that you would have here are much more leathery and waxy in nature. So all this adaptation in the desert area help a plant to survive in a wet condition, are also known as succulent. Okay, got it children? Now in mountain area, again you have adaptation that are seen for the trees. As we said, you would have conical trees, so that there's no run of them. The leaves are very thin and spike in order to move along with the wind direction, or they are not damaged because of the heavy wind flow, or a high wind flow occurs or higher altitude region. The next important is the animals. Animals usually specifically fit out about in the polar areas are adapted to the surroundings. So they are white in color. They can camouflage with the snow which have seen in the surroundings. They have huge body, a kind of body with huge fur or thick layer of fur. So as to protect them from the cold waves that are seen in those regions, against the it has kind of good layer of fur that helps it to protect from the cold that it can catch from the ground surface. So Those are some of modification that we have seen against then very important modification is for the mountain goods. Mountain goods are known as their excellence speed to run on a mountain or a altitude. So they have a very strong hooves that are seen. So this is an example of a conical tree or a kind of conical tree that are seen in a higher altitude. Then we come to grassland. Under grassland, we talk about two specific animals. One is lion and the other is deer. So lion basically is a predator and it hunts for its prey. Now the prey for the lion would be deer. The eye structure for the two would be very different. Lion would have a kind of eyes towards the center. So as it can focus very well all the prey. However, the prey that is a deer would have the eyes that would be towards side, so that it can have a broader vision to understand whether it has a kind of any attack could be done on the deer itself, and in that case run quickly. Again, deer would have bigger ears so as to have a good sound, and even a small sound would alert to the deer to run away. So those are kind of modification that are seen in the grassland animals. Deer has a strong teeth to chew hard plants, and it can also have a very good sensation of incoming predator. That's for example a lion by it. Big ears that are seen, and again the modification for the eyes that are seen to so that it can have a broader vision as a compared to lion. So lion need to have much focus vision in the dry land atmosphere. So those are the modification that could be seen in the grassland regions. Got it, children? So here we are going to end this session. We'll continue tomorrow. Okay, thank you very much.